Evening and welcome to the call tonight. If you can hear me, if you put a Y in the question box, I'd appreciate that. Then I'll know everybody can hear me. Okay, very good. Good to see everybody here tonight. And we're going to be starting a series of trainings that we call From Passion to Profit. And so regardless of what you are involved in or what you want to be involved in, I'm going to show my screen here in a minute. And I'm going to get you plugged in. You're going to see a blank screen there or just a browser. Okay, so you should be seeing a web browser right now, regardless of what you're involved in or what you want to be involved in. I'm going to be showing you the basics over the next couple of webinars, and you will be able then to use the basics of the internet in order to profit regardless of what you're involved in. Now, I know that some of you are involved or want to be involved in a business opportunity. That's great. Others of you want to be involved in doing affiliate marketing. That's great too. Because what I'm going to be showing you tonight, the basics of what I'm going to be showing you, you will need those things regardless of what you're doing. If you're going to be involved in local internet marketing, you'll need the basics of what I'm going to be showing you tonight. If you are going to be involved in creating and selling products on the internet, you will need what I'm going to be showing you tonight. If you are going to create information products, then you will need what I'm going to be showing you tonight and over the next couple of webinars. Now, if you let me know, if you put a 1 in the question box, if your fire, if your heart, if your passion, for the most part, is in being successful in a multi-level marketing or a business opportunity, I want you to put a 1 in the question box. Okay, if that's you, I want you to put the number 1 in the question box. If that's what you want to see, that's what you want to happen in what you're doing, I want you to put a 1 in the question box. Okay, good, some of you. Now, if you want to see your success in affiliate marketing, I want you to put a 2 in the question box, the number 2. All right, very good. Now, and if you, for the most part, you're still trying to figure it out, that's cool too. I want you to put a 3 in the question box. You're still trying to quite get it. You want to know exactly, you're trying to get what your niche is going to be, or your niche. I'm not sure which one they call it these days, your niche. If that's what you're trying to figure out, I want you to put a 3 in the question box. Okay, very good. Now, here's what we're going to do, and I'm going to be, again, showing you the basics, and it's going to take a couple of webinars. I want you to be a little patient with me, but when we get done with the webinars, you'll be able then to take what I'm sharing with you and get success in anything else that you want to do. Now, if you know of friends, if you know of individuals and other folks, these calls are going to be absolutely free. Bring them to the calls. If they are into building a business for themselves, bring them to the call and invite them, because these things will, at the end of them, again, show you what it is that you are going to need to be doing. Now, everyone knows of a couple of ways that you're going to be able to get people to see your offers. In other words, you know that when you are selling something or you're marketing something, the key to it is that regardless of how good or bad your sales skills are, that if you get enough people to see what you're offering, you're going to see some success. Okay, Robert Foster, the answer to your question, my friend, is yes. These webinars will be recorded. They are being recorded for viewing later. Okay, great question. Now, regardless of what you are involved in, regardless of how good or bad your copywriting or your sales skills are, would you agree that if you can get enough people to see what you're offering, you are going to do just fine? If you find some agreement with that, I want you to put a Y in the question box. If that's what you're thinking, yeah, exactly. If you can just get enough people to see what it is you're doing, you can be off the wall. You can be not so good at selling, and if you have a little bit of skill, you're going to be just fine. But the question is, how do you get people to see what you're offering? How do you get people to see what you're doing? Well, we need to find out where people are hanging out. I'm going to show you something in just a minute. And I'm going to find it in a roundabout article. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a link to an article, and I'm going to put it in your question box, and you'll be able to link to it too. Okay, I'm going to put it in the question box and the chat box. You'll be able to just go to that link right from there. I'll tell you why I showed you this. Now, here's the thing. Why did I show you this article? Is it because Pinterest is the key? No, that's not why I showed you this. What you need to do is you've got to find out where people are hanging out, and then you've got to be able to meet them there with a strategy to get the right offer in front of them. Now, this will show you where most of the people online are hanging out. I want you to look at paragraph 2, and it says this. Now, Pinterest is third among sites where people are hanging out. Where else do they hang out? They hang out on LinkedIn. They hang out on Reddit. They hang out on Google+, and some even still hang out on MySpace. So in other words, you don't have to be everywhere. You need to be where people are hanging out, and you've got to be there to meet them with the right kind of offer. So when you're doing business on the internet, you need to be every place where your prospect is. And the key to being every place where your prospect is to build your presence. Now, what are you trying to do when you get there? Let me show you something. And I'm just going to go randomly to Facebook here. And we all recognize Facebook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to one of the advertisements here. It can be anyone. I'm just going to pick one right now. Live free internet marketing training. Doesn't really matter which one. Now, this is going to open up to a page. Now, this gentleman or lady, I'm not sure which one it is paying for advertising. Now, when they pay for advertising, what do you see there? What is this person paying for? What are they trying to do with their money? When they advertise, what are they trying to do? Anybody, just put your answer right there in the question box. Why do we try to get traffic on the internet? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to accomplish? You'll see there that this gentleman has a name. He's looking for your name and email address. Yes? True? He is looking for your name and email address. Why? He's looking for it because once he gets that, he's willing to pay whatever Facebook charges him to advertise so that you can get his name, so he can get your name and email address, because once he has it, he is going to build his business. I'm going to tell you something. How many of you on the call, I know some of you said that you want to be involved in internet marketing. How many of you all already have been involved? If you have been, I want you to put a 1 in the question box. Okay, good. Some of you. Now I'm going to tell you something, that the number one thing that you must do in any internet marketing or any network marketing opportunity is you must do exactly what this gentleman is doing right here. And if I were to ask you, is this very attractive? No, it probably is not. But you must do exactly what he is doing. When you go from opportunity to opportunity, and I'm going to tell you something, some opportunities come and some opportunities go. But the thing that stays is your list. You must have a database. You must have a list of customers that you can email, regardless of how wonderful your business opportunity is, regardless of how much money they tell you that if you recruit these people that they're going to make. You are your business. Does that make sense? You are your business. When you are a distributor, the products that you sell are not your business. The things that you are marketing are not your business. The brochures and all the nice things that they send you when you get a distributor pack is not your business. What is your business? Your business is what you're looking at right now. Your business is your customer list. If you do not build a database with a list, you do not have a business. Because when a business opportunity ends, and they all do. Now, I want you to raise your hand or put a 2 in the question box if you've been involved in anything, any business opportunity that you started, it was cool, and then it ended. I've got my hand up. Right? How many of us have been involved in things and they started out wonderful and then something happened and then they ended? Yeah, a lot of us. And so what you have to do is you've got to be ready for that, and you must be your business. When you bring people in to any business opportunity or any affiliate marketing arrangement, you must be the person or the thing that they connect with. And your first point of contact is that you need to be collecting their contact information. That is your number one goal, because look, I don't care what they want to be involved in. Not everybody who puts their name and email address in that box is going to want what they're offering. But if they have your name and email address, they're going to be able then to send you email until they find what you're looking for. Okay, now, if I have your name and email address, I can send you email until I find out what you're looking for. In other words, you need to have people tied to you, not the business opportunity. And so your number one goal in anything you're doing online is to build a list. If you have a customer list and the world were to end tomorrow and there was a nuclear crash, right? There was a nuclear war. And then all of a sudden, a month later, everybody came up from the ground in the nuclear war. If you have a list, you can start a business again. If you don't have a list, you cannot start a business. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter how good you are at recruiting. If you don't have a customer list, you don't have a business. And so this is what you must make your primary goal in anything that you do. Because look, when the business opportunity that you're in goes out of business or they stop doing what they're doing, then you just move your customers, you just move the folks who are following you over to the next thing. And you continue to provide them value. Now, we're going to be talking about a number of things that are the key, but I want you to get this big picture idea. It is the key to your success online. It is your business. When you have the contact information of people who follow you, who trust you, who you provide value to, you have a business. If you don't have that, you don't have a business. Is everybody with me? If you understand what I'm saying, I want you to put a Y in the question box. Okay, if you're with me, I want you to put a Y in the question box. Okay, great. Good. So how do you get a list? Right? That's the key question. How do I get a list? Right? Because if everybody, look, if it was so easy, Everybody would almost already have one. Now, here's what you don't do. Here's what you don't do. You don't go to Google and type in buy leads. Now, undoubtedly, there will be people to sell you leads. There will be people who will give you lead lists. And they will all say, without fail, these lists are hot. This one, here's one, buy MLM leads. Right? You can pay them, and they will give you leads for your multi-level marketing business. Here's another company, buy leads, your source for mailing lists. Now, that is absolutely what you do not want to do, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, when you pay money for a lead list, you then have to contact that lead list. And the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to put them into a database in order to email them or to contact them by phone. How many of you all like to do cold calling by phone? If you like to do cold calling, I want you to put a Y in the question box. If you don't, I want you to put a 0 there. Most people have a 0, right? Zeros all over the place. Nobody likes to cold call because most of us don't like to be cold called. And that is because when you are building your list, you need to have people who are tied to you, who are tied to the value that you're providing, and are going to eventually be loyal to you. Now, when you're building a list, or when you get people to opt into your list, what you've got to do is you've got to figure out what they need, and you've got to provide value to them. The key to providing value to them is understanding what it is that they are really and truly looking for. And that is why this page is key. This page came from an ad where people could go and get training for internet marketing. So this person, when people put their name and email address in there, he knows exactly what they want. Doesn't matter where they come from or how much training they want. If they put their name and email address in there, there's one thing that he knows. He knows that they want training in internet marketing. And what you've got to do is you've got to do the same thing with whatever you're marketing. If you're going to market a business opportunity, then you've got to attract people to a list who want to be successful in a business opportunity. If you want to do affiliate marketing and you're going to sell, I don't know, you're going to sell ink pens, then you've got to attract people to a list who want to buy ink pens. If you're going to be successful in anything, it all starts with drawing people into a marketing funnel, and a marketing funnel is nothing but your list. Is everybody clear on that? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, I'm the only one that can see your answer, so you don't have to worry about this. Now, you can hang your head, because the first year that I was involved in internet marketing, I didn't do it either. Now, how many of you did not and do not currently have a list? And if you don't have one, it's okay. If that's you, just type in me. Now, it's okay. I'm the only one that can see your answers. If you're not building a list, it's okay. Right, most of you. And it's not because you're a bad person. It's not because you're dumb. It's mostly because this is not the first thing that people teach. Most people teach, get people involved in this business opportunity and show them how wonderful it is. That's the first thing you do. It is not the first thing you do. The first thing you do is you get them onto something that will allow you to contact them into a customer list. That is the first thing that you do. And yes, there are a lot of ways that you can do that. You can use, Aweber or GetResponse or any of those things. I'll be showing you those things throughout this series. There are tools that will help you to build a list. The first thing that you should be paying for in your marketing business should be an autoresponder. Now, you don't have to pay a lot of money for one. I'm going to show you some very cheap alternatives where you can start building your list and having your own autoresponder, but you should have that first. And it should be independent of the company that you're involved in, independent of the business opportunity that you're involved in. In other words, if you get involved in a business opportunity, folks, do not get their autoresponder, because something happens with that business. Guess what happens with your list? Right, exactly. They take the list with them, and your list goes away. Exactly right. You need to, the number one thing, the first thing you got to do. Now, if you pay $10 a month, that's going to be $10 a month. That's the best $10 a month you'll ever spend. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I started doing it. I didn't even use my autoresponder for the first 13 months, but it's still the best money that I spent, right? It was $20 a month, and I have paid it ever since I started internet marketing in 2007. I have been paying that same $20 a month to this company. Now, you might say, well, that's pretty, that's pretty silly, right? Why would you continue to pay something that you didn't use? Because I'm going to tell you why that's smart. Because when you start looking and you've got to raise, how many of you all have wanted to do something in your business, but you didn't have the money to do it? Right? You see, there's a conference that comes up, and you need maybe another $100 or $200, and you want to do it, and you can't do it. For how many folks has that happened to you? Right, a bunch of you. So what do you do to raise money when you don't have any money? Where do you get the cash? Where do you get the money? If you have a customer list, what you do for your customers is you create value for them. And I want you to write this down. And this wasn't necessarily part of the lesson, but I'm going to show you something. What do you do with your customer list? What do you send to them? How does a list make you money? How does an email list make you money? An email list makes you money like this. I want you to write this formula down. 10 to 1. Right? Real simple. 10 to 1. Now, we're going to be wrapping up here in just a minute. Just a minute. We've covered the big principle, but I want you to get this. 10 to 1. What does 10 to 1 mean? You must provide your list 10 times the value of the money that you're asking for. When you send them an offer, you should be providing for them 10 times the value. So, in other words, if you're going to send out a product offer for $9, you need to make sure you're sending out a minimum amount of value, right? $90 minimum. Now, I try for 15 times as much. When I send out an offer, I start calculating in my head, and I want to make sure that anything my customer list get, it's at minimum 15 times the value of the money that I'm asking them for. Because when you provide 15 times the value, it makes it easy for someone to say yes to you. What do you do with your list? You send them offers with 15 times the value, and then you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to have money to do that next thing in your business. All you do is provide value to your list. Right? Provide value to your list. So, okay, so what are the big principles? All I want you to do today, all that I want you to focus on is, are you building a list? Are you building a list? And the next time we get together, and it'll probably be one more time this weekend, I'm going to show you how you can start building a list. Right? So that when you get involved in your next business opportunity, that you begin to move from opportunity to opportunity with a customer list. right? Your list will be your business. You must understand that, and you must get that. Okay, are there any questions before we take off here, before I take off out of here? Are there any questions? All right, excellent, very good. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take steps toward building your customer list, right? Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to get ready for your traffic. Then I'm going to show you how to start getting traffic. They're going to show you how to monetize that traffic. And then I'm going to show you the very best way for you to put all of that together. Right? So we'll go as fast as we can, but it's Friday night. I don't want to keep anybody, so I'm not going to keep you any longer than 30 minutes. Sometimes I'm going to keep you even shorter than that. Any questions? Okay, everybody, thank you very much for being here. Look forward to now. Here's what's going to happen. For those of you who are already, here's what I'm going to do. What I want you to do is to go to facebook.com /gain mindshare. And I'm going to put that in there. I want you to make sure to like our fan page. And I will see to it that you will get an invitation to the next webinar that we'll be doing. So I want you to go to facebook.com /gain mindshare, like our fan page, and then I'm going to make sure that you get access to the very next webinar we do. Okay, so I'm looking to do another one at least this weekend. And again, if you don't get it, I will make the recording available to you. Okay, so with that, thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.